just looking at the whole thing and having these realizations and having stuff that I've thought about a lot in the past just kind of come forward as well. And you look at our lives. So you look at my life. I'll just use me as an example. We're always striving to get something, to get the next thing done, to become. We're always being hard on ourselves. We're very ambitious. At least I was. A lot of people are. Joining like Grant Cardone's 10x and 10x your life and 10x your income, and oh my gosh, man. And at some level, we all know that you also got to chill, and you also have to have some self-love in there. But the depth of that program, the purpose of this video is to get you just to take a minute to analyze how this might be affecting you, like the depth of the programming of being judged by production. It's a Western thing, you could say it's an American thing. It definitely is an American thing, but America has a disease, and that disease is spreading throughout the world. And I want you just to be honest and look at it for a minute, like this whole idea of identity and production and more and more and more and more. And the reason is because if you really truly look at it, and it does take self-honesty because everybody's doing it. That's the problem. It's like, well, everybody's doing it. That doesn't make it right. That means you should run the opposite way. It's like if the sheep are all running in one direction, right? So the reason that you should look at it if you're a true seeker is because it destroys your life, and it doesn't ever work. We put on these layers of personas. I used to go to a lot of different types of conventions and stuff, so one of them was like the Grant Cardone conventions for multifamily and real estate. As you guys know, I've been in real estate for a while, and after a while I started noticing like every single person, shouldn't say every single person, most of the people in there are acting a certain way, wearing a valence or a pretense or a personality, right, to get what they want. Like they want to talk to you because you have access to investor money. They want to talk to you because you have something they need to get what they want. And it's just manipulation. And I started to really see it, and it started to really bother me. I was like not so much in a judgmental way, but I was just feeling gross in these places. And what's even worse is when you as the person, and this is just, I'm sharing this because I just want you to look at it. I don't want you to be judgmental of yourself, because that doesn't work either. I mean, I just want you to see it and move past it if it feels right, if the time feels right. But everything we do is to get something. Like the way we look, the way we act, it's all a show. People talk about being authentic, but they have no idea what that even means, because the false self is so prevalent in the world that everybody is trying to get something through ego mind. I guess I'm just trying to get people to see it a little bit, because I'm seeing it and I'm not free of it. And this video blog that I do on this channel is just for me to document my way. I'm still making mistakes, and it's the reason for suffering. I mean, this is why we suffer, is because we're putting on this false self. We're putting on this, everybody looks like that, or she did this and got that many likes, so I'm going to start to do this and get that many likes. And you get this this movement of people trying to be a certain way, following a person that's not even happy, and it's just like this nasty, this is tearing the soul out of the world. I mean, it really is. So let that be known as a possibility for the source of your suffering, if you are suffering. And remember that with the ego, when we get what we want, we feel good for a minute. Like, as long as everything, I call it the ego thermostat. Like, As long as certain things happen within this thermostat, we're great. All of our little spots get hit. That's the way relationships are too. That's basically what relationships are. As long as you do this, this, and this, and this, and this, then we're good. But when you do anything outside of my ego thermostat, we got a problem, right? So you have these moments in life when you're on that pathway where it's good. Oh, I got more money. I got the promotion. Oh, we got the building. We did this. But if you really pay attention and you're being honest with yourself, it never, ever, ever fulfills you. It just goes, it's just like you just get further lost, really. I look at Grant and man, I don't even know if I want to talk about that. It just keeps going. It just keeps going and going and going. So be honest with yourself and look at your truth. We're just it's programmed into us to go, be more, do more. Like when I first got to Costa Rica, I don't live there anymore, but when I first got there, and I just had to sit down, sometimes for hours at a time, and just deal with this guilt of not doing anything. And you might think that that's good, like, oh yeah, you should be doing something, you should be producing, like that is the disease. And the hardest thing to understand about it is that when you let go, or when you let the do die, you know exactly what to do. And instead of doing, you're being done. And I know that that's super high level, but it's like having faith in whatever you want to call it, God, universe, source. My friend calls it Gus. Get it? God, universe, source. It's funny. And just surrendering. And then what actually ends up happening is the world unfolds for you in a way about 1 billion times more beautiful than you ever could have done it yourself. And that takes a lot of trust, though, because we're so ingrained in that externalization. And I'm working my way back from that, and I'm letting go and letting go and letting go, and not knowing what'll happen, not controlling it. And man, there's so much freedom in that, but it takes a lot of faith, because you have to undo everything that was taught to you intentionally by our school systems, by our colleges, by our society, by social media. And this video is getting kind of long, but just think about it. Like how long, this is really what it comes down to. People will continue down that path until the suffering reaches a breaking point, and then they'll start to become a seeker. And maybe you're already kind of seeking, but or if you're like most people, or like I was, you start seeking, but you're like, man, I still gotta do this stuff. So you're not like, you're kind of caught in between, right? You're like one foot in the matrix and you're trying to like get out, but man, you just gotta let go. You gotta let go of control. That's so crazy to hear me say that, man. I used to be like, control. Wow. This whole video is going to be about self-love, but I guess I'll do that on the next one.